How's it going, everybody? Welcome into Film Room here from the Star in Frisco alongside Isaiah. Stanback, I'm Kyle Youmans as we break down the Week 15 matchup between the Dallas Cowboys and the New York Giants. It's the second time the Cowboys have faced the Giants. First one, it was a big dub, a season-high 44 points against New York. But this is a different New York Giants team, but maybe not in the good way because there's no Daniel Jones, no Kadarius Toney. They do have a guy like Saquon Barkley that has to keep you honest.
Yeah, Saquon Barkley is what this team revolves around. He is their go juice. He is their playmaker. They do have Galladay and some other guys on the outside, but they don't have the quarterback to necessarily get it to him. So who do they need to get the ball in the hands of? Saquon Barkley, one of the most dynamic guys. Even though he's not 100% back from that knee injury, he's still building his confidence back. These guys have been struggling to score offensively. The last 3 games since they got rid of Jason Garrett, they've only averaged 14 points per game. So they're going to try to force feed this gentleman right here, Saquon Barkley, and they will do that in the form of getting him out at the receiver position. You guys will see right here, these guys have 5 guys out. This is an empty set. That means that the quarterback is back here all by his lonesome, which is what we love right now, the way our defensive line is playing. So, but we have to be very careful in terms of what his abilities are, even at the receiver position. This is cover 3. These guys are dropping back into their coverage right here. Their safety is dropping back here. But guess what? When it's on this side right here with just this one guy, it is man-to-man coverage for the most part. So you're going to see Saquon Barkley run what we call a sluggo. He's going to fake the slant route because that's what most running backs would run from that position, and he's going to take off on this good old defensive back, all right? Defensive back here, and still drops a dime on him. He does a great job running a route that most running backs really can't run, but he can because of his capabilities.
And that shows the respect that the Chargers had on Saquon Barkley because they put a cornerback out on Barkley instead of maybe throwing a linebacker on the edge.
And it still didn't matter.
Did not matter, right? And he was able to dice him up for a touchdown. Now, the Cowboys offense doesn't have the same problems that the Giants do. I mean, they're not missing any guys, but they're missing opportunities. And now we're going to take a look at how maybe Dak Prescott needs to take a look at his decision-making and take another deeper dive into the film to try and figure out what went wrong this past week. Cowboys still got to win, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, there's a lot to fix on that offensive side.
It just doesn't feel right? Well, you got the victory, but it just doesn't feel right. And that's mainly because our QB1, Dak Prescott, is not playing to the standards that he has even for himself. And that's something that we need to try to put our finger on. Everybody's trying to figure out, is Dak throwing the ball inaccurately? Is his calf still bothering him? What's going on, okay? But I can tell you guys this is the one concern that I have in his decision-making. That's the only thing that he can have an impact on. Everything else can be corrected on the outside, but he has to figure out how to make better decisions. And here's a prime example of one of the things that we don't want him doing going forward in this season. You're going to see Ezekiel Elliott back here in the backfield. You're going to see these guys have 5 men up front, okay? Everybody has their keys here on the offensive line, so we're 1 for 1 up there blocking wise. We're going to try to run a screenplay because these guys were expecting blitz, okay? The man that has Zeke man-to-man right here is going to be Holcomb. He's going to do a great job of scraping over the top and creating pressure on Zeke, but he should still be able to get him the ball or ground it if things don't look good. Let's play it through. All right, if the play is there and it's nice and open and great job, we can get the ball in his hands. But if it's not, your job as a quarterback is to simply ground it, throw it in the dirt, and live to play another down. Pause it right there for me. This was the first hole that he was looking for. He was looking to get the ball to Zeke right there. He doesn't. Typically on a screenplay, you don't get a second chance. So what he should be doing right now is simply just burn this ball. Burn it into the ground, okay? Just burn it. Live to play another down. But unfortunately, Dak doesn't do that. He decides to hold it, try to get to a second hole. By that time, this linebacker now is sitting right in the line of duty right here for Zeke. Let's take a look at it from another angle. You guys see here, again, we're going to play it through. Again, the person you guys need to have your eyes on is right here at Holcomb. He has Zeke man-to-man. He does a great job of scraping here, okay? Zeke is not open. Right now, Dak's eyes are looking for Zeke. They're not there, okay? So, again, go ahead and keep playing it. As we go right now, Dak needs to throw this ball in the ground. Just simply throw it in the ground, throw it in the dirt. He decides not to do that. He still wants to try to make a play by holding on to this. Now he's trying to drive the ball where? Straight to this linebacker. And that is the question that we don't have an answer for right now. He has to do a better job. We get lucky on this particular play, but we can't say that that's going to happen going forward.
Now, going back just really quickly, if we can back that up to where the contact was made with the football and the linebacker, was it maybe Dak Prescott just hoping that Zeke would have ran a go route here and seeing all of this open space, and maybe it's a miscommunication between the two?
You know, that's a nice hope, Kyle. That's a nice hope. But the thing is,
I just wanted to throw that out.
That's a nice hope.
Question.
But if we're running all the way way back to the beginning, okay? Let's establish the line of scrimmage. Run it back to the beginning of the play for me, please. All right, right now, okay? The line of scrimmage is right literally at the yard marker, okay? That is where this play happens. The screen play usually happens at the line of scrimmage or behind the line of scrimmage. So if we go ahead and play it through, let's look at when he should have hit Zeke. Boom, pause it right there. He should have hit Zeke where? Right here. That's still a yard marker that we're talking about, okay? He doesn't hit him there, so he holds on to the ball, and because he holds on to the ball, let's keep playing it through. Where does he try to get the ball now? Zeke is now 6 yards downfield. It's not going to happen, not on the screenplay. It's not designed that way, and when it doesn't go perfectly on a screenplay, you have to ground it and protect your team.
And for the most part, throughout his career, Dak Prescott has been effective in getting rid of the football in situations just like that. Now, let's flip it back to the defensive side of the football, which has been firing on all cylinders, and a big reason for that is this man right here, Micah Parsons. But it's not just Micah, it's the way he's being set up for success.
Dan Quinn is a Jedi, okay, for all my Star Wars fans out there. And yes, his man right here is the benefactor of it because of his skill sets and because of the positions that Dan Quinn is putting him in. But I want you guys to see exactly what this offensive line is trying to figure out as our defense steps up. You see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 defensive linemen stepping up, and then guess what? This guy right here just happens to be the 6th guy. Now these guys have how many offensive linemen up here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A tight end that's sitting right on the outside shade of Gregory. All right, so these guys feel like they have things protected pretty good. 6 for 6. Let's go ahead and play just a second here, okay? Right here, this defensive end is sitting on the end, okay? Gregory's sitting on the end. Who's responsible for him? This tackle right here. He feints him, okay? He hits him with the okie doke. Pause it for me. All right, he does a great job of feinting that he was gonna come and dropping out into coverage and creating some resistance here for these receivers trying to come in. Armstrong does an amazing job of consuming 2. He could have easily ran straight into the offensive guard right here, but instead of that, he goes and consumes 2 guys. Pause it right there. He runs right down the middle of these 2 guys, consuming both of them. By consuming both of them, Dan Quinn knows that by the tackle and the guard taking Armstrong right here, he knows that now Micah Parsons has a one-on-one matchup with this running back. There is no running back in this league that can defend against Micah Parsons one-on-one. Gibson doesn't stand a chance, comes around, give me those goodies right there, takes him to the ground, sack, and it's time for him to eat and do everything else that he was doing after that. It wasn't this Zeke version of eating. It was this right here. It was kind of a beast eat.
Because the Lions
always hungry.
Always hungry.
Yeah.
And the fact is you got to give a lot of credit to Micah Parsons and what he is doing.
Yes.
It is special. But also Dan Quinn's putting him in positions, and the guys around Micah Parsons are playing well enough to allow him to be as successful as he's been this rookie season. But that's going to do it for us here on Cowboys Film Room alongside Isaiah Stanback. I'm Kyle Youmans. We'll see you next week.